Over the weekend, Louisiana State Police released additional police body camera and dash cam videos that show Ronald Greene's deadly encounter with them back in 2019. That's in addition to the videos the Associated Press release that we showed you last week. Now, here to discuss it is our legal expert, Candace Kelley. Good morning, Candace. The beat goes on. This continues as we try and find a way around this and to try and get a resolution when it comes to the entire justice system. But what struck me was his mom coming out and saying, Mona Hardin saying, when she saw the video, she said, what I saw was that he was not meant to leave alive. He was going to be killed. So with that being said, will the release of this additional video help expedite, I should say, this 2-year-old investigation?
Well, it will and it won't. We're looking at 2 hours and 11 minutes that was finally released in its entirety from 4 different angles. But the federal investigators are the ones who have already stepped in. They've made the decision that they're going to take over, and then the state will come in and do what it has to do in terms of potentially making charges. They did say that there would be more disciplinary action, but we don't know where it's going to go right now in terms of the feds, because often they work in a very clandestine way, right? We don't know what's going on. But we do know that according to them, that it is in their hands, and that justice, the wheels are hopefully moving a little more swiftly, because it's been 2 years. As you said, his mother has been working steadfastly in order to try to get something done. And hopefully for her, this is the change that she wants to see.
Yeah, and it's sad, Candace, right? Because that change that she wants to see only has an opportunity to happen after we've been treated to yet another horrific, disgusting, torturous death of this black man at the hands of police, a black man who died on May 10th, 2019, more than a year before George Floyd. Remind us, because there's been no justice, but there has been. My daughter gets time out more than what these officers got, but remind us of the punishment here.
Right. It is hard to call this disciplinary action or even punishment. There was one officer who was involved. He got 50 hours of suspension. You got another officer that got a letter of reprimand for not following courtesy policies, as well as turning off his camera. Another officer was told that he was being fired, and then on the day, within hours that he was fired, he had a 1-car accident. So still a lot of justice to be seen, because certainly we didn't see a lot that came out of this. But those are the things that have happened to the officers so far. But I believe, and we've talked about this before, more is yet to come. Just a shame that all of this had to happen before the police decided to make these types of moves.
Does that tell you something, that there was an officer who was fired for this incident, but yet no charges came about this? And what's that tell you about the other 2 involved?
You know, it tells me that there's some type of cover-up going on. I mean, the fact that these officers were able to put something in writing that they knew was a lie, felt comfortable enough that what was in writing could, that lives forever. You don't put anything in writing that you don't want people to know about. They felt comfortable enough to do that. What this tells me is that they were very comfortable down there in that parish, and that they know that they can lie. But now these lies, like we have seen in so many situations, have been uncovered. And this is why we have such a problem now, actually, with police even applying to want to be officers around the country, because they know that in terms of their jobs and what they can do, they're not going to be allowed what they can have been doing so far. And things hopefully are going to change.
Mr. Greene had a torn aorta. He had a broken breastbone. This secret autopsy is now out. And so, and Mike and I were talking about this a little bit earlier in the show. Candace, the cover-up, the complicitness, it makes me think of organized crime. This appears to be, you're the lawyer, a criminal enterprise down there in Monroe, Louisiana, where some good old boys aren't just going about beating up a black man. They're going about it, and they have safety and comfort, a salary and a pension and vacation, and nobody's going to jail. Nobody's even really, besides the one officer who people believe could have possibly committed suicide, realizing that for once he was held accountable here. The criminal enterprise here, have I gone too far?
No, you have not. And listen, prosecutors right now are waiting with bated breath for this case to unfold, gathering evidence already, I'm sure, to take a look at the fact that this really was an MO, right? This was something that was a pattern. And these are things that you're going to hear in this case, because I am sure that we're going to see justice in this. There's no way that we cannot see charges being brought, albeit not in the time that we want to, but charges will be coming. This really is a criminal enterprise, as you said, because you have people committing crimes, people covering up for the crimes, and everybody feeling comfortable just in their own shoes and carrying out those crimes and having certainty that they just won't get in trouble. That is what you call organized crime.
Yeah, and Candace, I want to stick with this organized crime because there's a different way of prosecuting those kind of cases at times. Yes, RICO and that whole thing, which is, you know, above my pay grade, and maybe you can explain it, but Ahmaud Arbery, the same thing, right? This relationship between these vigilantes and police and the district attorney who looked the other way, and somebody else had to come in and yeah, but, and what if, and had the tape the whole time. Ahmaud Arbery. So how else can this be revealed legally?
Well, you know, one of the things that the prosecutors are going to keep in mind is the time, what you pointed out. Why was there such a lag? And there was such a lag because everybody was just kind of resting on their laurels saying, we got away with this, right? Ahmaud Arbery, that death happened in February. And then that didn't come out until, you know, after George Floyd. So in terms of that process, in terms of of what's going on, in terms of the line of what's happening, we know that the timing involved is going to be very important and that people were waiting. Here, we're talking about years that somebody finally had to be compelled to actually do something about it. And that's going to be very important too. Why was there waiting? What was happening behind the scenes? Who was talking to whom about what was going on? Something was happening. Deals were being made already before anybody was even charged. And then nothing happened.
Yeah, it's not just the cops. Once again, it's the entire system. We got to change the system in order to get change in this country when it comes to justice for black people. We teased it. We got to talk about it. Once again, we've been talking about tomorrow, the anniversary of George Floyd's death. Candace, in addition to being a great legal mind, you're also a professor. You're teaching the youngsters. How have you seen the conversation about race change among your students since George Floyd's death?
Well, you know, the students are very open to it, right? This is the age group that was out there on the streets. And I have students that were out there, they were on the streets, they were protesting, they would come back, share their experiences. So that has really changed and helped actually me as a professor over the years because, you know, when I got on, and I will still hear students today say, I actually haven't talked at length to an African-American in my life. So I know that the exposure, just the conversations, just me being in the classroom, whenever you have a person of color who is teaching you, it changes the trajectory of what you are talking about because you have input from different people. And that's the whole thing in terms of what we're talking about just in general. Let's hear from different people and share our experiences because that's what this whole thing has been about. What are our collective experiences about so we can understand people and not fear each other?
Yeah, I mean, you're a great professor too. I want to audit and just sit in your class one day and see what I can learn from you. I really do,
Sharon.
and I will do it. I want you, if you could do me a favor, Candace, when you join us tomorrow, because something's been weighing on me. As we heard a soundbite a little bit earlier in the show from Narissa Knight, where black people are talking about taking up arms to protect ourselves because enough is enough, and you can imagine where that would go. But there's something else. Ronald Greene fleeing police, George Floyd afraid, Dante Wright afraid. At what point does that become a viable defense? And black people shouldn't just be okay to run from imminent threat. It's not paranoia, as our good friend Charles Blow wrote in his latest column. It's real. And so if you could just weigh that in your legal mind, and maybe tomorrow we could unpack that, I think it would be helpful, because every time I hear about a black man fleeing police, and then people come on and say afterwards, and I know we have to wrap, well, that you shouldn't run from police. I wonder, That may
Yeah,
be the
you
only
got to
chance you
a
feel like you
balance.
have.
Yeah, let's get into
Yeah.
it tomorrow because
Yeah.
there's a balance we have to strike.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Candace, Kelley.